Most people think all lawyers do the same thing, argue in courtrooms like you see on TV. But after practicing law for years and working with hundreds of different attorneys, I'm about to reveal the 17 different types of lawyers that exist, what they actually do all day, and why some make $50,000 while others make $5 million doing completely different work. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which type of lawyer handles what, how much they really make, and most importantly, which one you'd actually want to call when life hits you with a legal problem. Because trust me, calling the wrong type of lawyer is like going to a heart surgeon for a broken arm. I'm Tiffany Weber. I'm a real estate attorney in North Carolina, and I've been in the legal trenches long enough to give you the real story behind what we actually do. Now, before we dive into these 17 types, I need to tell you something that might surprise you. There's one type of a lawyer on this list that most people have never heard of, but they're the ones making the most money, sometimes $10,000 per hour. I'll reveal which one that is, but first, let me destroy a myth that's probably costing you money right now. You see, when most people think lawyer, they picture someone in a courtroom yelling, "Objection!" But here's the truth. Most lawyers never step foot in a courtroom, ever. And the ones making the real money, they're doing something completely different. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah called my office last month in a panic. Her small business was getting sued, her employee was claiming discrimination, and she just received a letter from the IRS. Tough month. She made the classic mistake, and she called the first lawyer she found on Google. That lawyer was a criminal defense attorney. Great guy, but completely wrong for Sarah's problems. It's like calling a plumber to fix your car. I wasn't the right attorney for her either. She needed someone with a completely different skill set. This is why understanding the different types of lawyers isn't just interesting, it's essential, because when legal trouble hits, and it could hit anyone, you need to know exactly who to call. The wrong choice can cost you everything. So, here's what we're going to cover. I'm going to break down 17 different types of lawyers, what they actually do all day, the problems they solve, and yes, how much they really make. Some of these will shock you. But more importantly, by the end of this video, you'll never make Sarah's mistake. You'll know exactly which lawyer to call for any situation. Let's start with what I do, real estate law. Now, most people think we just handle house closings, and yes, we do that, but here's what really happens. I spend my days making sure people don't lose their life savings on the biggest purchase they'll likely ever make. Real estate lawyers handle everything from residential closings to massive commercial deals. We draft leases, resolve property disputes, and yes, sometimes we have to tell people their dream home sits on contaminated soil. The average real estate attorney makes between $75,000 to $200,000, but the commercial side can hit seven figures. But here's something that'll blow your mind. There's a type of lawyer that makes more money in one day than most real estate attorneys make in a month. I'll tell you who they are in just a minute, but first, criminal defense lawyers. These are the ones you see on TV, and honestly, the drama can be pretty accurate. These attorneys literally hold people's freedom in their hands. I've watched criminal defense lawyers work 80+ hour weeks preparing for a single case because someone's entire life hangs in the balance. Here's what most people don't know. Criminal defense lawyers can fall into two categories. So you've got public defenders who are overworked heroes making $50,000 to $80,000 a year handling hundreds of cases, and private criminal attorneys who can charge $500 to upwards of $1,000 per hour for white-collar cases. The private guys, well, they're the ones who are getting calls at 2 a.m. because someone's kid got arrested for DUI. They're not just lawyers, they're crisis managers, therapists, and sometimes they're the only thing standing between their client and prison. Family law. Now, this is where lawyers see humanity at its most vulnerable state. I'm not kidding. In family law, people are fighting over what matters most to them, their kids and their money. Family lawyers handle divorces, child custody, adoption, and domestic violence cases. They're part lawyer, part therapist, part referee. I've seen family law attorneys literally have to review text messages between ex-spouses to determine custody arrangements, and there's a lot more. It's emotionally draining work. The money, it varies wildly. Small town family lawyers might make $60,000, while divorce attorneys in major cities can make millions handling celebrity divorces. But here's the thing. Most family lawyers have to carefully watch their level of burnout because the emotional toll can get to be too much. Now we're getting to where the real money is. Corporate lawyers. These are the people making deals that move billions of dollars. They draft contracts, handle mergers and acquisitions, and basically make sure big business runs smoothly. Here's what a typical day looks like for a corporate lawyer. Reviewing a 300-page merger agreement at 6 a.m., negotiating contract terms over lunch, and flying to another city for a board meeting by dinner. These lawyers don't just practice law, they're business strategists. The money is insane. Entry-level corporate lawyers at big firms start at $200,000 or more plus bonuses. And the partners, they can make $5 million or more per year. But here's the catch. They work 80 to 100 hours per week, and I know corporate lawyers who haven't taken a real vacation in 5 years. But even corporate lawyers aren't the highest paid attorneys I mentioned earlier. There's still one type that makes more money per hour than anyone else in the legal profession, and the crazy part is most people have never heard of them. I'll reveal who they are, but first let me tell you about the lawyers who help put lives back together. Personal injury lawyers. You know them from the billboards. Have you been injured in an accident? Call 1-800-HURT-NOW. But here's what the cheesy commercials don't tell you. These lawyers are financial lifelines for people whose lives have been destroyed. I know a personal injury lawyer who represented a construction worker who fell from scaffolding and became paralyzed. The insurance company offered $50,000, and this lawyer spent 3 years fighting, hired engineering experts, accident reconstruction specialists, and economists to calculate lifetime care costs. Final settlement? $2.4 million. Quite a far cry from the $50,000 initial offer. Personal injury lawyers work on contingency. They only get paid if they win. Most cases settle, but when they go to trial, these lawyers become storytellers, painting pictures for juries about how their client's life was shattered. These successful ones can make millions per year, but they also take huge risks because if they lose, they get nothing. Next, tax lawyers. These are the people who speak the IRS's language. Couldn't be me. When you owe $100,000 in back taxes and the government is threatening to seize your house, you call a tax lawyer. These attorneys understand the 70,000-page tax code better than the IRS agents themselves. They negotiate payment plans, fight audits, and sometimes get massive tax debts reduced to pennies on the dollar. The really good tax lawyers, they're worth their weight in gold. They charge $400 to $800 per hour, and their clients gladly pay it because the alternative is financial ruin. Immigration lawyers hold dreams in their hands. They help people navigate the incredibly complex process of becoming American citizens, getting work visas, or fighting deportation. These lawyers don't just file paperwork, they are hope dealers. Immigration law is incredibly complex and constantly changing, so these lawyers have to stay on top of policy changes, court decisions, and political shifts that can affect their clients' cases overnight. Now, remember that type of lawyer I mentioned who makes more money per hour than anyone else? Here they are. They are mergers and acquisitions lawyers. These are the attorneys who handle billion-dollar corporate deals. When Disney bought Fox for $71 billion, when Microsoft acquired LinkedIn for $26 billion, M&A lawyers were behind every single detail. They work on deals so complex that a single mistake could cost hundreds of millions of dollars. In major cities, these lawyers can charge $1,500 to $2,000 per hour, and on major deals, they can bill 16 hours a day for months. But here's the thing, the pressure is unimaginable. One mistake, one missed deadline, one overlooked clause, and entire companies can collapse. Let me rapid fire through the rest because each of these deserves your attention. Intellectual property lawyers are the ones who protect ideas, patents, and trademarks. When someone steals your invention, you call them. Employment lawyers handle workplace discrimination, sexual harassment, and wrongful termination. They're the reason HR departments exist. Environmental lawyers fight pollution and protect our planet. Some work for corporations, others sue them. Bankruptcy lawyers help people and businesses start over when debt becomes overwhelming. Estate planning lawyers help you plan what happens to your money when you die. And trust me, without proper planning, you can leave your loved ones with a big mess. Civil rights lawyers fight for equality and justice. These are the attorneys who changed history. Entertainment lawyers negotiate contracts for actors, musicians, and athletes, and they are the reason your favorite star makes millions per movie. Banking and finance lawyers structure loans and financial deals that keep the economy moving. Litigation attorneys are the courtroom warriors who fight civil disputes when negotiations fail. Here's what I want you to understand. Every single one of these lawyers chose their practice area for a reason. Some chase money, others chase justice, some want to build businesses, others want to protect families. But here's the truth that law schools don't teach. Being a lawyer isn't just about knowing the law. It's about being trusted with other people's most important problems. Whether it's buying a house, fighting for custody of your children, or building a business, lawyers hold people's dreams and nightmares in their hands. That's why choosing the right lawyer matters so much. It's not just about legal expertise. It's about finding someone who understands what's at stake for you personally. Remember Sarah from the beginning? After struggling to find the right lawyer, she found the right team. A business attorney for the lawsuit, an employment lawyer for the discrimination claim, and a tax attorney for the IRS problem. It cost her more upfront, but she saved her business and her sanity. Now, if you found this valuable, here's what I want you to do. First, subscribe to this channel because I'm going to keep breaking down the legal world in ways that actually make sense. No legal jargon, no boring theory. Second, think about your own situation. Do you have legal questions you've been avoiding? Are there areas of your life where you need legal protection but don't know where to start? Drop a comment below and tell me what legal topics you want me to cover next. And if you're dealing with real estate issues in North Carolina, whether you're buying, selling, or need easements or contracts, that's exactly what I do every day. You can find more information about working with my firm in the description below. But most importantly, remember this. The law isn't something that happens to other people. It affects every aspect of your life, from the house you live in, to the business you build, to the family you protect. Understanding it isn't just smart, it's essential. The next time you need legal help, you'll know exactly which type of lawyer to call. And that knowledge could be worth everything.